In today's episode, I had Nick Devitte on. If you guys don't know who Nick is, he's my partner at Forever Home Realty. He runs the day-to-day operations as the broker. And in this episode, we covered a lot of different topics. We went over what it was like from his ascension of working in the clubs here in Vegas to when I hired him to help me out flipping houses, all the way to managing this brokerage now where we have almost 100 agents. On top of that, he goes into how he has sold the most expensive home in Vegas last year in 2020, as well as what it's going to be like in the future for real estate in general and how agents can succeed in the near future. We also got into other topics like cryptocurrency and just other plans that him and I have, as well as our history together of how we got started. So you're going to love this episode. Now let's jump into it. Welcome to the Ryan Pineda Show, where our mission is to invest.
I only expect to make money in things that I understand.
Innovate.
It's about believing in the future and thinking that the future will be better than the past.
And inspire. I am much more likely to hit my goal just due to putting it out there.
You're now rocking with the best.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Ryan Pineda Show. Today, I have my partner at my brokerage, Forever Home Realty, with me today, the one, the only, Nick Devitte. What's up, man?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
So, for those of you who don't know, I own a brokerage called Forever Home Realty. We've got, about 90 agents now?
I think we're up to like 96 agents.
96. We're about to hit the century mark.
Yeah.
We started, and we only started about 3 years ago, which we'll kind of get on later. But Nick is also not only my partner, but two things. Number one, the very first person I hired when I got started flipping houses. And number two, I think my oldest friend.
Yeah.
I think. I can't think of anyone who I've had a relationship with longer.
Yeah.
In you know, the ways that I'm talking about. But anyways, so why don't you just tell them a little bit about, like, you know, your story and beginnings, and we'll kind of go from there.
Definitely. So, like yourself, you know, born and raised in Las Vegas and grew up here. Me and you met actually when we were in 6th grade in choir class.
Yep. I wasn't going to say it. I was going to let you tell a story.
Yeah. And we were both sitting there kind of like, you know, what are we doing here in this class?
I think we were the only guys in the class, too.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I ended up in that class. Like, what?
I think
How did you end up in it? You probably chose it.
like a forced elective, yeah, I think.
Or
But
we didn't sign up for electives, and, like, they just kind of put us in it.
randomly, yeah. And you were not in the academy, and I was in the academy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it kind of just worked out. And then, you know, we've gone through many phases since then and met back up in high school at Bonanza. And you played baseball, varsity, and I played JV freshman year. And then after that, kind of just, you know, I dropped out of baseball and just had fun, you know, through college.
You started being a party boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was taking baseball. Obviously, that was my career, and so I was very serious about it and going to college. And you were kind of going to college to live that frat life, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, back in high school, we still, you know, you'd hit me up every weekend. We'd go to the park, play catch, and practice swinging, and go to batting cages. And
Work out,
yeah, a lot. So, you know, grew up together very close, and then, you know, you went off to Cal State Northridge to play baseball. And I stayed here at UNLV and joined a fraternity, which is a whole nother story. But that was a good time, and, you know, grew the network, and, you know, that's helped me a lot nowadays. But I did casino management and, you know, wanted to grow up and be like a, you know, hospitality mogul or something.
because that was what your dad did.
Yeah, that's what my dad did for many, many years and still doing that.
Yeah.
But graduated college and went into the nightclubs. And
you've worked like every job in the nightclubs. You've been, you know, where did you begin? You're like a busser, right?
yeah, I was a busser at Encore Beach Club, which is at the Wynn. And, you know, it was a great job. You know, you make probably 80, 90,000 for the summer, and then you take the winter off and kind of hang out, travel, do whatever.
Right.
And you meet a lot of cool people, and, you know, it's a good life for, you know, when you're going to college, and then
Especially
you know,
when you're
shortly
like
after.
22 years old, you know, making $100,000.
Yeah.
You know, half the kids who get out of college now can't get a job. and like, you're just working in the club making almost $100,000, which is nuts.
Meeting cool people and, seeing all the best DJs in the world. And it's a good lifestyle.
For a little bit.
Yeah, for a little bit. And you only work, 3 days a week. So
yeah. And then, so you were a busser for a little bit. That's how you got started. What happened after that?
Yeah, I was a busser for 5 years. And then I kind of got sick of that and wanted to transition into something more kind of professional, I guess, which was, VIP hosting. So with VIP hosting, you deal with the top level clientele and, they hit you up to get balls at nightclubs and come in and spend, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on these tables.
It's crazy.
And, it's a cool job again. You get a bunch of perks. You get, comps at restaurants, comps at any other nightclub you want to go to, and, just hang out and go to the after parties and, live that lifestyle that, billionaires live.
Well, and you've told me about a ton of cool people you've met doing that. You're like, oh, yeah, I hosted that guy, and I know that guy.
And after parties with the DJs and, every night's a gamble. Like, you have no idea what you're getting into, yeah.
Yeah, so you did that for a few years, and, like, what does a VIP host make?
So I was making around, like, $120,000, $130,000 a year.
Okay. And during that time, I had finally come back from baseball. You had been doing the nightclub thing for a while. I was doing the baseball thing. And then it was weird because that was when our roads kind of finally converged again, because I started flipping houses. You ended up getting your realtor's license. And then, we both came to the conclusion of like, hey, for me, baseball's not really working. For you, it's like, dude, I'm going to like die if I party every night, like.
Yeah, so I was continuing to host, and in 2015, I got my license, but didn't really take it seriously or anything, so I continued hosting. And then in 2017 is when you were flipping a couple homes, like 10, and you came to me and you're like, hey, Nick, like, I'm flipping these homes, and I got to leave to play baseball. And so pretty much you gave me a crash course in like 2 weeks how to flip homes.
Right.
And then you just left town.
Yeah.
So in that time, you taught me how to, manage the contractors, estimate bids, check foundations and roofs and all that stuff, and pay people out.
And I think too, so everyone knows, like when he says 10, it was like 10 at once. I had bought, I think 10 within the last 2 months at that time. I was like, hey Nick, like I already got these 10 homes. I need you to go manage them, make sure they get fixed, and go list them and all this stuff. And for me anyways, I had to delegate because I still wanted to play baseball. At that point I knew baseball wasn't going to really like be my career, but I was like, dude, if people still want to pay me and people still want to watch me play, like I'm going to keep playing. I can do real estate forever. And I ended up just leaving to go play, even though my business was booming. And you were the first guy that I looked at and I was like, man, who would I trust that could actually manage these properties and understands real estate and all that? And, you had your license for a couple of years already, so you understood real estate. You had sold some houses, and, obviously I trusted you. So it was just like this perfect fit. And also, too, you'd started to, like, express you were wanting to get out of the nightclubs, And so I said, dude, just try it out. Like, see if you even like, this industry doing it the way I do it. And it was good. Because you learn super quick, you listed them, we got them flipped, and then at that time I ended up getting released from baseball. That was around like July or August.
Yeah, August, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. Like I'm just retiring, and like let's do this serious. And then that was when you and I had the conversation. I was like, all right, like what should we do? And then we're like, let's just start a brokerage. And so we started a brokerage maybe like a month after that.
Yeah. We started October 1st, 2017.
Yeah. But we started like the planning like within weeks of me quitting.
Yeah. But 2017, I mean, that was a crazy year for me because I was doing doubles at the nightclub. So I was working, Hakkasan at night, Wet Republic during the day, and then flipping homes during the week.
Right.
And, you'd call me up, hey, I got this house, and, I'd drop everything, go look at the house. I'd be like, okay, buy it.
Yeah.
And boom,
I was in North Dakota, and it would get bought.
Yeah.
So if you just the moral of the story too with that is you can do this business virtually. You just got to have someone you trust who's actually there.
Yeah, you'd be in the dugout and you're like, hey, I got to go back.
Hey man, like I got to go get a hit real quick. I'll call you back. But yeah, so that was kind of how it started, and it's really cool because I didn't expect that to be like what ended up happening. Like I was like, all right, maybe this is going to be something, maybe not. Like maybe it's just for the time being. I didn't know how big I wanted to make my business or anything. Like it was just, hey, like we got some houses to flip. Like let's get them flipped and let's go buy some more.
That year we ended up, I think, with 54 flips.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, that year I retired. We officially launched the brokerage together as partners. We hired Hannick at the end of the year to manage the projects because even though you did the project management, we both understood that it was about to grow really, really big. And so we were like, hey, the broker of the brokerage cannot be managing projects. And so we took you out of project management, put you as strictly the listing agent on all the flips, managing the brokerage. And, we went from literally 0 to, almost 100 agents now 3 years later without even doing any recruiting or anything. It's just all word of mouth.
Yeah. I mean, we were winging it back then, but now it's all dialed in with the flips and, the wholesaling and the brokerage and everything, and everyone has their place and it's flowing really well. Yeah.
So let's talk about, now. We understand the beginnings now. Many people have never heard that story, so I'm glad we got to share it. At this point, you as a listing agent, you've probably listed how many homes at this point?
Yeah. Easily over 350, probably close to 400.
Yeah. And the thing that I love with my business and what we do is that when's the last time like I really like negotiated one of these listings?
Probably 2 years ago.
Yeah. I literally, I'm like, Nick, whatever you think is best, like
just go for it.
It's in your court. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't even want to hear about it. All I want to do is like make cool podcasts and stuff. And I trust that you're going to negotiate well.
Yeah. So I negotiate and then you give me the thumbs up and we're good to go.
Yep. So that's the best part for me anyways, about having you as the listing agent and the broker. But I think the other cool part is all these new opportunities that are arising. So if you guys haven't seen it, we actually filmed a video last year. You can find it on my main YouTube channel for this $11 million house that Nick sold. Tell us about that deal, dude.
Yeah, it was an awesome deal. A guy I met back in the nightclub, he wanted to buy a home in Vegas because California was all locked down and you have no freedom out there, like many people right now.
Yep.
And, he came to me through a friend and, we looked at about 30 homes in Vegas, and this is right before the big boom was happening. It was building up.
Right.
Right now, you can't buy anything, even in that price range.
Yeah, it's now looking like he got a deal.
Yeah, so I had someone offer me $15 million for that house.
Wow, $4 million. He could have profited $4 million.
Yeah.
In a couple of months.
But there's nothing else to buy right now, so yeah, you got a great deal on it now. But yeah, we showed about 30 homes to him, and he picked the best of the best, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was trying to show him $2 and $3 million homes, and none of them fit what he was looking for, and he went up to, I think it was listed at 12.75 when we started, and
you got it down to like 11,250.
Yeah, 11,250,000.
Mm-hmm. And it was the most expensive sale in all of Henderson.
Correct, for 13 years.
For 13 years. Wait, did something sell for more than that 13 years ago? What sold?
I don't even know.
I would guess that was the highest sale ever.
Maybe since Henderson started.
Yeah, I don't know. How old is Henderson? I don't even know. But yeah, so that house, if you, like I said, go watch it on YouTube if you guys want to see it, because it's sick. And we had a lot of fun over there. They had a bowling alley, a basketball court, tennis court, putting green. It was sick. So super sick.
Overlooks the whole city.
But I can relate to him, man, because I'm doing the build on my house, as you know, and I'm thinking originally, like, man, okay, if I can be at like 2.5 million all in, I'm gonna be good. 3 million, and now I'm like looking at it, I'm like, dude, if I could stay, under 5 million, this is gonna be good because it's just like the budget just keeps going up and up. When you start thinking about your dream home, that you're like, man, what else could I possibly buy or build? Then you're like, well, if this is gonna be it, I might as well just add this.
Yeah, get it out of the way and go all out right now.
Well, because the other reality is if, say, a year or two from now, or even 3 years from now, like it's finally done, I'm like, dang, like, I could have afforded it now.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind 3 years ago, maybe not. But today it was like, I should have did that. So I don't want to have that regret.
Yeah, and you don't want to move again, especially after doing a 2-year build.
No, yeah. After going through the building process, I'm already like, dude, this is it, guys. Never again. So it was cool because, my lots near that house, they can actually see each other, both on their different spots, which was cool. But it's led to another deal you got going on now.
Yeah, so actually 2 days ago, we just went into contract on a house that was listed at $8.5 million, and we got in contract well under that. Can't say the price right now, but
right. So fingers crossed it closes, but it's just crazy, because and I want to use this as inspiration because many people go to me and they're like, wow, like you moved so fast. How did you do that? Like, how has it grown that quickly? And your career trajectory is very much the same because, you just started taking real estate seriously in, 2017 with me. And now you sell the most expensive home in Henderson in 2020. You're leading a growing brokerage. Now you got another deal for $8 million. You've sold, these hundreds of flips along the way, and you just turned 30. Well, we're about to be 32.
Yeah, our birthdays are 2 days apart. So.
Yeah, we're about to be 32. But by the time this launches, we might be 32. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, so it's just, your career trajectory is so quick as well. And I remember telling you that back in 17 or 18. I was like, dude, I don't care about my real estate career at all as far as being a realtor goes. I was like, I don't want to list them. I don't want it to have anything to do with being a realtor. Like, I want you to have, like, everything, as it relates to the brokerage. I want you to be the face. Like, I'll supply everything else needed as far as, like, the inventory and the houses, and I'll promote. But, I want you to handle that. And it's like, I don't think it could have gone any better.
No, it's worked out well, and, just from going from the clubs to real estate, I mean, from this, $8 million house, that's going to be double my salary when I was working in the clubs. Yeah. And that's one deal.
One deal. That's crazy. Yeah, that was the revelation I had when I was flipping couches. I was like, man, this would be like 100 couches to make this flip.
Yeah, and in the nightclub, it didn't matter if I sold, a couple more 100,000 a year in product, you
weren't getting paid for it.
I was making maybe an extra like $5,000.
Yeah.
So now there's no ceiling in real estate, and truly, as hard as you want to work, the money's a reflection of that. So.
Yeah. Well, I think too, for being a realtor, one of the biggest things that you've got going for you is actually what you did at the club, and even before the club with the frat. Your network is so big at this point that you don't even market. Like, you don't do anything.
No.
Yeah.
I'm a low-key guy.
Yeah, like you're just crushing deals, doing no marketing or prospecting. I'm pretty certain you've never made a cold call,
Probably not. Except when I managed your callers back in the day.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, man. Guys, if you would have known what we were doing.
How we were getting deals.
Oh, man, this was back in 2018. So
cringe-worthy.
Super cringe, guys. So I'll tell you guys a quick story. Actually, before I get into this quick story about deals, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors. Are you looking to grow your real estate investing business? My company, Future Flipper, can help. We've taught hundreds of people all over the country how to flip, wholesale, and buy rental properties. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your investing journey. Whether you're trying to get your first deal or scale your company, Future Flipper can help. We have courses, coaching, and events for all levels of investors. So if you want to take the next step, go to futureflipper.com and book a free consultation to see how we can best help you. Once again, that's futureflipper.com. One of the hardest parts about real estate investing is finding a good contractor. That's where Southwestern Custom Construction comes in. They've been doing remodels in Nevada and Arizona since 2006. As a fully licensed and bonded general contractor, they're able to help with any type of renovation, all the way from an entry-level fixer-upper to a custom luxury home. Southwestern Custom Construction specializes in working with investors. I've personally used them on many of my projects, so I know their team is legit. If you want to get a bid on a project, head over to customhomenow.com. Once again, that's customhomenow.com. Are you looking to find off-market real estate deals? One of the best tools my team uses is Batch Leads. With Batch Leads, you're able to pull data, manage lists, and send text messages. On top of that, you can get nationwide access to the MLS to get pictures and comps. My team has used Batch Leads to get some of our best deals, so I know it works. If you want to start today, you can get half off your first month by going to batchleads.io and using the promo code Ryan. Once again, that's batchleads.io, promo code Ryan for half off your first month. Now, back to the show. So when we first got started in 2018, actually marketing for the first time, we had no idea what we were doing. Up to that point, I tell people this all the time. My first 80 deals from 2015 to 2017, I spent $0 on marketing. It was all wholesalers and MLS and referrals. In 2018, I was like, well, let's do 100 plus deals. Like, goal's 100. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I was like, so we're going to need to start doing our own marketing. And I had seen how everyone else was doing deals. People were like, oh yeah, we just cold call. I was like, okay, like I'll just get a list of numbers and we'll cold call. We didn't really get any type of good list or anything.
And the cold callers were like just our buddies.
Yeah. I put a Facebook post out. I was like, hey,
whoever wants to do this.
Whoever wants to do it, let's do it. And like 4 people showed up. I'm like, you're hired.
We had a tiny office, like I think it was 1,000 square feet.
Yeah. And we put them all in like
one of the little
150
cubicles,
square foot room. And we're like, okay, guys, so here's some numbers. Just go call them. That was it. There was no training. There was no anything.
We got deals, which
Dude,
is surprising.
Well, and the crazy part was too, we didn't have a dialer. It was all hand dial on their cell phone.
Yep.
We didn't have a script. We didn't have anything. We didn't train. We expected them also to close it themselves. We were like, guys, just freaking close them. Like, I don't understand this.
Some of them did.
Dude, they did. Only one guy remains, Michael, from that era. He was the one who proved himself above the rest. And so he's been with me on the sales team the longest. So every time we get a new person, he's like always telling them like, dude, you have no idea like how easy it is compared to when it was.
All the tech nowadays.
Yeah. They just sit there with their headset on. It's just, dialing.
Stacked list and all this stuff.
Yeah. Way better data, script. And half the time with the way we're set up now, one person doesn't do everything from start to finish. One person basically sets appointments. The other guy closes appointments. One person handles follow-ups. So it's way more structured now. But just thinking back to that era is so funny, just how bad we were. But it made money.
Yeah, and it's a good story, shows where he came from.
I think another funny part of that was I remember you came up to me one day. You're like, hey, I found this texting platform. Like we should just text all these numbers too.
Yeah.
And you were just like, I'm just going to send them out. Like, let's see what happens. And we ended up getting a deal.
We got a deal right away from it. Yeah.
Well,
Henderson.
Gunderson, we did. But the funny part of that was too, is we wouldn't have got the deal because we had no follow-up. They followed up with us.
Like, hey, you called it or you texted us like a week ago or something. Can you buy our house?
Yeah, we're like
sure.
Cool, we'll go. We'll be over. So that was funny. What other things do you remember from that era? Like what we were doing?
Man, tried door knocking and every type of marketing, and we're just throwing whatever at the wall and whatever sticks. We went with, but.
What's funny is, so I've had Sean Bob on the podcast.
Oh my gosh.
One of the funniest things I remember about that when we started the brokerage was, I think I may have said it on Facebook. I'm like, hey, we're going to open a brokerage. DM me if, you're thinking about switching or something like that. Mm-hmm. And Sean Bob DM'd me within like a minute, just something stupid. And he's like, all right, well, like, where do I sign up? I'm like, it doesn't even exist yet. Like, there's nothing. We don't have anything yet. We're just, like, getting the paperwork done.
Yeah.
And I was like, we think we have an office. And he's like, okay, where's it at? I'm like, it's right here. He's like, can we go see it? I was like, okay. And then, like a lost puppy was just waiting at the office, like with his,
resume or something.
Yeah, it's like his backpack and his desk. He's like ready to move in. So I'm stuck with him too. Yep. He's,
Never leaving.
he's never leaving. He actually had the highest viewed episode for a while. Maybe I think we still tell him he does. Like he asks every day. Our video guys are always like, he always asks the video guys, am I still number one? Am I still number one? And we just tell him he is. And we tell him his episode has made so much money on ad revenue and stuff. It's just crazy.
Yeah, you got to get him back on.
I know. We'll probably have to get all three of us and see how it goes.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, that was crazy, just starting everything out. And then just the expansion from the last 3 years, because we opened that office, 1,000-square-foot office, quickly outgrew it within, like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went and rented the other office, like a couple doors down, just to put home run offer in and separate the two, and then outgrew that. And then now we're here. And I don't know if we're going to outgrow this, but it's getting there.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Yeah. So it's a good problem. What do you think, though, is your plan for the brokerage and just yourself? Like, what's your big goals?
At the rate we're growing, I see us having 500 agents in a couple years pretty easily. And, I just want to keep on the same path and deliver, the value that we're giving our agents,
Right.
For the minimal cost. All these other brokerages are charging, 70-30 split, 60-40, technology fees, all that stuff. And, we have a very simple structure of just, $4.95 per deal and $100 a month. And
That's it.
What
What
people
about
love it.
What about the copier fees?
The copier fees.
Whenever I see that, like, if you want to print something, it's 10 cents. I'm like, what? Who's tracking that? Like,
Is Bry collecting money on the side?
I'll say like the other brokerages. I'm like,
Oh,
dude,
the other brokerages.
Yeah, I'm like, how are you charging people? Like, I get it because it can get expensive. These agents, like, print all this crap. It's like, just don't even offer it. Like at that point, go to Kinko's. Does Kinko's exist?
Yeah. I
Okay,
think so.
go to Kinko's. I was thinking it was like, I was watching the Blockbuster documentary on Netflix yesterday. So it got me thinking. I'm like, I haven't been to Kinko's in a long time. Maybe it doesn't
I
exist.
think they merged with FedEx.
That's why. I think it's the same thing. So, yeah, we've never changed the model really. It's just been $100 a month, $4.95 a deal, and keep everything else for the last couple of years. And I think too, what separates it is like, when you look at brokerages, you have two types. You've got the one who is taking a big profit split, right? But in exchange, they're like, oh, well, we've got a big brand name. We're going to give you training. We're going to give you X, Y, Z. And then you have the, boutique ones that are like, we're 100% commission and you're going to make most of your money. And like, we're not giving you anything. Like, it's just is what it is. But when I look at our model, I look at us like, all right, we're charging what the boutiques charge. But today, actually, you guys had a training in the conference room. I see you training them every week.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been buying different types of trainings. Like, what other trainings have we gone through?
We gone through like Buffini and Ryan Serhant, and then we go over contracts and trending topics and the market.
We get the title people. I'll talk to them sometimes. Like, they get a lot of training.
You do social media and different,
Yeah, I give them my courses and stuff too.
Flip stuff.
Yeah, so I can tell you, there's literally not a better value out there. And I don't feel like cocky or arrogant saying that. Like, it's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
All I do is the facts are the facts.
We do zero marketing. It's just whatever they see on social media. And most of our agents are between, 20 and 35 years old.
Yeah, they're young. Yeah.
And so it's like the new wave of real estate in Vegas. And, they have huge networks and they're all putting in, huge numbers. And
well, I think too,
it's awesome to see.
What I really love about them, and I give them all the social media influencer course. If you guys want that course and you're an agent in Vegas, you can get it for free if you just join. If not, you can buy it. But what I want this brokerage to become is like the leader in social media and how to do it. I'm kind of trying to set the standard for like, hey, here's how you do it. Here's what we do. You can do it for your own personal brand. And, you could easily, like I seriously say easily, make 6 figures if you just do social media right and you don't spend anything. You don't have to cold call. You don't have to do any of the stuff that the old school ways try and teach you. Like, you'll generate hot, warm leads just posting the right type of content.
Yeah, and those are the leads you want because they already know your personality. They know what you're doing. They see you, out and about, and they know what they're getting when they're working with you.
Yeah. So I want us to be just that number one seen brokerage in Las Vegas. And I think we're pretty close to already being there. Like, so, I mean, we might already be there, but like, I want it to just be undisputed.
Yeah.
You
some days I have 7 agents lined up here, like waiting to join.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been getting even like crazier ever since I've done the huge social media push.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I like that aspect of it. I like the aspect that it's cheaper than these big brokerages.
You don't have international marketing and franchise fees and, all this other crap that they have. It's very simple, boutique, and, you get good value.
Yeah. You know what's funny is, so I'm in the process of starting the fund and some other things. And man, just talking to all these different fund guys, like the thing with the fund is you can structure it in a million different ways. You can structure it however you want with interest, whether it's guaranteed or not, what kind of equity split, what kind of acquisitions fees, management fees. Like, there's a million ways to structure it. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, if I am trying to sell somebody on joining my fund and, investing with me, I'd probably want to just do it very simplistic.
Yeah, as transparent as possible.
Yeah, this
here's
is
what it is.
Yeah, like, okay, here's the interest you're going to get. Here's what we split. Like, this is it.
That's how I am with the brokerage. I don't want to keep track of whose split is different than whose. And
yeah,
they made $15,000 already this year in commission, so now they don't have to pay anymore. Like,
right.
It's too much for me to keep track of. So
it's just not worth the headache.
I don't want to do it.
Right. Well, and yeah, it's just not worth the headache. And I think too, what that actually does is we have pretty much all amazing agents with no ego.
Mm-hmm.
We got some top producers. They don't act like your typical top producer who is like, man, okay, what are you going to give me? I'm like, what do you mean I'm going to give you? It's $495. Like, I don't.
You get the same thing as he gets.
Yeah. Well, I'm just like, do you want it to be free? Like, I don't understand what we're going to do. And it's just, you do get those prima donna agents, just like there are prima donna, investors or influencers or whatever. And I think the pitch is always funny when that happens because it used to be me, but, now you're handling all the things. But it's just like, you understand that you're like not making me anything.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't.
Especially if we split it. So
yeah. I'm like, I'm
I don't really care.
That podcast I just filmed made me more than you'll make me for the year. Like, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So that's just, it's funny though, because it comes back to with any business and any relationship and any type of thing you're doing, like leverage, right? So we talk about this with sellers a lot for our sales team. We're like, hey, if a seller wants too much money or they like are trying to just nickel and dime do this, walk away. Be like, we don't need you. Like, we have a million other deals we're working on. It does not matter to me whether I buy your home or not. I'd love to. I'm not being a dick, but just I don't have time for this. Like, if you're going to nickel and dime me, I don't want to work with you anyway. And that's kind of how we do it at the brokerage. It's how I do it pretty much every business. Like, this is the price. This is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't a fair price, you wouldn't see everyone else in the program or at the brokerage or whatever too.
Yeah, we have no turnover with agents, like hardly any.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah. So, what about the luxury game, dude? Are you going to try and branch into that more so?
Yeah, it's kind of the path I'm going now, I guess.
I guess I am. I don't know.
No, it's cool. Kind of just falling into it. But it's a natural progression, I think. I've done so many hundreds of deals now, and the network keeps growing, and, people are coming to me left and right. And, last year I did, I think, like $35 million in sales, which is huge for Vegas.
Yeah.
Might not be huge for New York or LA, but that's
Right.
a lot for Vegas.
It's huge for anyone listening.
And then,
yeah.
next year, or this year actually, I'll probably break like 50.
Yeah.
it's just a natural progression at this point.
Right. Well, and the thing too with a lot of these other top producers is, and I talk about this. If you guys haven't seen my income streams video, I recently did it, and I just showed transparently, like, hey, here's what I am actually making net profit after everything. And the thing is, when you look at a lot of these top producers, their net is not really that impressive. Either they're spending crazy amounts of money on marketing, or they, just have a huge giant team. Everything is going under their name, but it's 15 agents.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there are guys who just absolutely crush it. But most of the people who absolutely crush it have either been in the game so long that they just have longevity and so many referrals built up. And, I think that's what's going to happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
I tell this to the agents all the time, getting those first bunch of deals is the hardest part. And then after that, it's like exponential, because if you have a client base of 100 people you've sold homes to, how many referrals are you going to get out of that?
200, 300.
At least. And then how many out of those guys and those guys? Yeah. And it just keeps compounding. So I think even with what you've done so far, it's like, it's so like early,
mm-hmm.
and it's the beginning.
Yeah. No, it's been a fun ride the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And now, we're looking to hire a managing broker for the brokerage to handle some of the day-to-day stuff, so that I could focus on, the bigger items at hand.
Yeah, I love it. So I've gotten this question before, and I think Sean Bob answered it in his video, but what is it like working with me? People always want to know that, because I have like this persona on camera because I get to control the narrative. But what is it really like behind the scenes?
You're the most like goal-oriented, like hardest working person, that I know, and it kind of creates that feeling around you so that everyone else works hard and, produces and, leads in your steps.
Yeah. I think, for me anyways, with everyone that's in this office or around, you will like weed yourself out. I don't think we fire people or people quit. Well, I shouldn't say people quit. It's like people just realize, dude, I can't make it here. It's just, I had that feeling with baseball. You start to keep going up the ladder, then everyone keeps getting better and better and better. And all of a sudden you're like not up to par, and you're saying, man, I don't know that I belong here. Like, I'm pretty good, but man, these guys are killers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the same thing happens here. It's like, if you can't match the work ethic,
if you can't keep up,
yeah, you get left behind. I mean, that's unfortunately how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always looking for the most talented people to work with me, because, I mean, I only have so many hours in the day. So everything I do, I have to leverage other people's hours to accomplish what I want to accomplish. And the talent of those people will directly be like, it will dictate, my success as well, and the company's success and everything. Like, if they're not talented and they don't work hard, it doesn't matter how I train them or anything. Like, it's not going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why Forever Home has had so much success, is because you have a lot of talent, and your work ethic is, I know you said I'm one of the hardest. Your work ethic is definitely on par. I think back to when we started in 2017. You had mentioned it. You were working 2-a-days at the club.
Mm-hmm.
You were doing the day shift, which I've never had a real job like that other than being a substitute teacher. But I can't imagine serving alcohol in the club for like, whatever at daytime, and then going to work at midnight to go do that. And then you would still work out with me at 7, 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did it.
Me neither, looking back.
Yeah, we're old now, so we're like, man, the things we used to do.
I don't have to do that.
So it was that actually showed me more than anything that, man, this guy, he's working so hard at his stuff, but he wants to also do this. And then, working on the real estate is one thing, but actually going to the gym at 7, 8 in the morning is another thing. Like, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah, some nights I didn't sleep and went straight to the
gym. Yeah, you literally did not sleep. So that was crazy. I actually, though, I do blame you for one thing. During those gym times, you got me into Bitcoin, and I had no intention of buying any Bitcoin or nothing, and then you got me in the crypto, and yeah, that didn't end well in 2017 for me.
Hey, but you're up now, so
I did hold it, so
hodl,
hodl, baby.
Diamond hands.
Yeah, so maybe actually I do owe you because I learned my lesson, and I did hodl, and now it's up, and now like I understand that it's very volatile and anything can happen.
But I think it's the future, man. You know.
What
do you think?
Well, what's your portfolio? Because you're obviously the crypto guy, getting everyone into it.
At the beginning of the year, I put in like 250,000, and I think I'm up about 260,000 or so now.
It's crazy.
I dabbled in some altcoins that hit big, and then
what altcoins hit
now, big? Like Aave and other ones. But now I transferred it all back, and I got just Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink.
Why do you like Chainlink?
I think it provides data for everything, but it's been good to me, so I just hold it.
Yeah, I hear it's good. I've never like looked into it to know that, man, Chainlink is the next big thing. Like I have no idea. The one thing I learned from 2017, so I guess I am glad because I learned this lesson, was that the altcoins are what screwed me. Like if I would have just kept Bitcoin and kept Ethereum, I'd have been good.
Yeah.
I would have been totally fine. Even buying it at the peak of 20,000 a Bitcoin, if I would just held it, I would have had, right now it's trading at $60,000. Like it would have been totally fine.
No, but there's so many money grabs out there, and you just got to be patient and stick with the big cap ones.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at now. I only have Bitcoin and Ethereum. And it's funny because, now that I'm a YouTuber, I watch these YouTube videos on crypto, and I always see them pumping these things. They're like, Cardano's the next big thing. And I'm like,
to the moon.
Yeah, I'm like, why? What's so
like
good?
Every day they have a new coin on there just because they need to keep creating content, to stay relevant.
Well, and they literally, if they have a big enough following, they can make a lot of money doing it.
Yeah, I've seen the guys now, their accounts are growing like 100,000 followers a month.
Yeah, dude, that's one thing I've noticed about YouTube as well is real estate is a very small niche in reality. There are so many more like day traders and stuff watching YouTube, even crypto and day traders. Those accounts are far bigger because they literally just create a new video every day of some, whatever they want to talk about. Oh man, Bitcoin dropped 2% yesterday. Is it the end? I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure.
The next day, it's like, buy all the Bitcoin you can.
Buy all the Bitcoin.
The whales are coming in.
Okay, you got to know about this new coin. I just heard a rumor.
Remember we covered that coin like 2 months ago? It's like, and every other coin.
It's just like, all right, what did we cover? All right, this week. Yeah, we'll talk about Chainlink this week. Okay.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it for 2 months. It's time.
Yeah, people forgot.
But, there's too many of those accounts, and stick with the big cap ones.
I'm going to get with my content team over here who's filming. We got to get a daily stream going of just nonsense. Let's just talk about whatever coin I feel like. I'm like, okay, I'm on CoinMarketCap. What's number 10? Okay, number 10. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
No, don't do
Yeah,
that.
don't take any crypto advice from me at all. I understand it pretty good now 3 years later, but don't take any advice from me. I'm just buying Bitcoin, really.
Yeah.
If Michael Saylor says Bitcoin's like it, I'm going to trust Michael Saylor. That guy's smarter than me. But did you buy any Dogecoin?
No shot. You can't buy it on Coinbase or anything, so I wasn't able to.
Dude, that's the funny thing about crypto, too, is like you can't access so many coins because they're on just random exchanges.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, even if I think about buying it, I'm like, I don't really want to go through the headache of opening an account and all this crap.
From 2017, I still have exchanges that I don't know how to get into, so who knows what's on them,
Dude, ironically, so in January, when stuff was starting to pop, I was like, man, okay, I wonder what my stuff is worth now. I haven't looked at it in years. And, I was like, oh, I got 26 Ethereum. Nice. This is tight. And it was, Ethereum was at like $1,500. I'm like, this is sweet. So I found, what was that? Like 40 grand. And then I also had another one called Zill. I don't even know what it's one of those stupid altcoins. It had so much hype. It's like, yeah, it's launching. Zill's the next big thing. I'm like, I don't even know what Zill's about, but these guys on Twitter are talking about it. I need to get some. So I bought like 70,000 Zill or something, like some stupid. It was something really stupid. And it was the only other one that was worth something. It had like $7 grand. I was like, oh, okay. Nice. But then I had another one called Moby. Let's see the price of Moby today. So it's called Moby. I'm on here on CoinMarketCap. Let me tell you, this one was supposed to go to the moon. Mobius. Oh, it's up 36% today. It still might go to the moon.
Hey.
And it's a cent, up 36%. But I had 15,000 of them. I was like, oh man, I got 15,000 Moby. Like when I was looking through my old thing, I'm like,
$15.
It's got to be worth something. But yeah, that would be $150 is what it's worth. I'm not even gonna withdraw it.
No. Just let it ride.
Yeah, let it ride, baby. I'm not taking the L yet. But well, cool, man. Anyways, this was more about you and Forever Home, but yeah, crypto's cool too. I just want to say as we come to a close that I think you're going to be one of the biggest agents, and well, you already are one of the biggest, but I think you have the potential to be the biggest. I think Forever Home has the potential. Well, I don't think we want to be the biggest in terms of agents, but the biggest for what we want to do.
Yeah, we're already up in the top brokerages in Vegas, number wise.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, if I start something, I just want to be the best. Like, that's just what it comes down to. So the difference is, though, like, the best for me is different than maybe somebody else's version of the best. Mm-hmm. Like, so for me now, to be the best means, like, hey, I get to live the exact lifestyle I want. It doesn't have to do with making the most money or having the most followers or whatever. It's just like, if I get to literally do what I want every day and I can buy the things I want, I can work the hours I want, that's being the best. That's the best version of me. And I think you're the same way because if you guys don't follow Nick, we'll link to his stuff down below. But he lives the most chill life ever. How many places did you travel before the pandemic?
Oh, man. I think in that same year, it was like Greece, Egypt, Colombia, and Thailand.
Yeah. Didn't you go to Bali too?
Oh, yeah, Bali too.
Yeah. This guy, he's been everywhere. Just a traveling fiend. Yeah. And then you're in Cali like every week?
Yeah, I just got back from Austin this weekend, and then the weekend before was L.A.
Yeah. So Nick, another example of just like a guy living his best life, essentially. Just chilling.
Hey, but I put that, $8 million house in escrow while I was in Austin, so.
There you go. Well, and too, it's not like this life came out of nowhere. We just talked about the journey to get the 8 years of,
Yeah. And
figuring things out.
It's cool to see where we're at now and where we're going.
I know
we're still still so young compared to everyone else, People are like, how many agents do you have? I'm like, 95. They're like, what?
Yeah. I might have you know what? I might get my license to be agent 100.
Ooh, and then drop it.
And then drop it. I just got to get the title. But cool, dude. So if you guys didn't know, we will link to Nick's stuff down below. If you're in Vegas, you're an agent, you want to join Forever Home Realty, definitely go check us out, foreverhomelv.com. Once again, that's foreverhomelv.com. You guys can apply to join the brokerage. Super cool group of people, like Nick said. We're younger, focused on social media. Definitely not the old school way of marketing. Everything is geared towards the future. Mm-hmm. And yeah, appreciate you coming on, dude.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, cool. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching The Ryan Pineda Show. If you want to work with me, head over to ryanpineda.com. You can find my courses, coaching programs, and upcoming events. We also have free resources you can download, so head over to ryanpineda.com.